You're listening to Sports Connections with David Smale.
So how excited are you with the current club?
I mean, look, you look at players like Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams and Serginho Dest and Zach Steffen. And those are players that are playing over in Europe. And then the domestic talent that we have, and whether it's a Gianluca Busio that I know you guys know so well, or even older players like a Walker Zimmerman, and all this talent just continues to come, and now that talent has started to be mined by clubs around the world. And so when you get a Kay Cowell and different players that are being bought at some high numbers and getting these opportunities. I mean, when I went to Italy in 1994, I went because I performed in a World Cup. I mean, that's how that happened. And it doesn't happen without that. And now we're seeing players that some of them have never even stepped on the field for MLS or barely stepped on the field for MLS teams that are getting sold and being given that opportunity and that path. It's such a night and day type of situation. And that's great. They shouldn't have to do it at a World Cup to be given the opportunity to play at a higher level and to have these adventures that we had.
Yeah, you mentioned Busio. It's imminent. And Peter actually in his presser earlier this week said, I know there's a lot of rumor. It's just rumor. I can't comment until something's official. He was kind of smirking because we all knew it was going to happen, but he couldn't comment on it. And it was the week after Busio made his national team debut right here in Kansas City. So I love the fact that when we put our World Cup team together, probably more players are going to be playing for clubs in Europe than playing for clubs here in America. I think that's exciting.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. It's always going to be a collection of both. Yeah. And keep in mind also that there's also advantages that different players have in terms of that pathway. You look at passport and timing and coaches or connections, all those different things. So not everybody is going to have those opportunities. Right. And just because you don't have that opportunity doesn't make you any better or worse. Just because you step foot in Europe doesn't automatically make you a better player. And so I think Greg Berhalter in this case is trying to find that best, because it's not about the best players. It's about the best collection of players and getting that best 11 and whatever that means, regardless of, because that whistle is going to blow and nobody cares about where you're signed, where you play, how famous you are, how much money you make, who you're dating, all that kind of stuff. That whistle blows and you gotta perform. And I think it's going to be a nice mix. But to your point, there's a lot of really, really good talent that I think is being recognized in some of these great places. And that lends itself to, a more credible league when it comes to Major League Soccer and the lower divisions, USL and everything that's going on. And then obviously the women's game that continues to flow, all this stuff. It's a wonderful time to be a soccer person in the United States.
Is Greg Berhalter the right coach for this team?
I think so. I mean, I think that he has come in, and I think he'd be the first person to tell you that he has wanted, and I think he has tried to do something different. And that could be dangerous because just in general, a national team coach has very limited time with the players. And the way that he wants to play is unlike anything that we have done in the past. I don't think he's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I think that he is taking some of the, for lack of a better word, the Americanness that we have that has kind of gotten us here, keeping that, but also adding different elements and different aspects to the game. And in that sense, having us grow and having us evolve. But it also takes a specific type of player. There is more risk involved, especially when it comes to possession and playing out of the back and doing all that kind of stuff. He's still got some problems and some holes to fill, certainly up top with the number 9 position, because the last one we had was Josie Altidore, and nobody has really stepped up to take that position. It's a vital position. You got to have somebody there that scores goals and that the other team cares about. And, you're talking about your Daryl Dikes and your Josh Sargents, and there's this revolving door right now, and nobody has really taken it with both hands. So he's got some things to work out as we get close to qualification this fall. But I remain pretty optimistic about this team and Greg Berhalter leading this team. Well, it remains to be seen where it ends up and if he continues on, because cycles. There's rare that there are successful multiple cycles from coaches. And so this might be a situation where he takes it up to 22, says, thank you very much. I've progressed. We've done well. And then hands it off to somebody else that takes it up to 2026.
Thanks for listening to Sports Connections with David Smale. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and rate the show from your favorite podcast platform. You can learn more about David Smale and his work by visiting davidsmalebooks.com. Don't forget to join us weekly for new episodes. Until next time.